Hey guys, I hope you're having an awesome Christmas. This is a review I was actually trying to get around to for a while now, but because of work and such, I am just finally getting to watch this movie and review it. And I am particularly happy because it's a homegrown creation. This is Martin McDonagh's Banshees, or The Banshees of Inisherin. If you don't know who this director is, he directed In Bruges, Three Billboards Outside Ebbings, Missouri, and Seven Psychopaths. He's a fantastic director and he usually collaborates with Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson. And again, this is a pairing and match made in heaven with all three of these chaps working together for this movie. The story itself is a very, very dark comedy, and I use the term comedy in the loosest sense because it's a tragic story about a friendship that slowly deteriorates and escalates into something savagely toxic and violent. And it also explores things like toxic masculinity and the failure men have at communicating their feelings to one another. These issues are actually quite poignant because in Ireland, people still have trouble addressing things like mental health. The story itself revolves around two characters, Padraig O'Sullivan, played by Colin Farrell, and Colm Doherty, played by Brendan Gleeson. Two men who have been long life friends, but for some reason, out of the blue, Colm decides he doesn't want to be friends with Padraig anymore. Colm's reasoning to Padraig is his life has no meaning if he remains just in the pub chatting to Padraig about the same stuff day after day. He's a musician, he wants to create something that leaves an impact, whereas Padraig is just happy to go day in, day out doing the same routine. This makes Padraig question his own self-worth. As a result, his mental health degrades with the realization that he doesn't really have much to his life without his friend. Things escalate even further when Colm warns Padraig that if he attempts to talk to him again, he's going to cut off his own fingers with his shears. And this leads to some unforeseen circumstances for not only Padraig and Colm, but for those around him as well. Tragically so. Martin McDonagh was incredibly clever setting this during the Irish Civil War. If you're not familiar with Irish history, not long after our independence, there was a bloody civil war in Ireland between the Irish Republican Army and the Irish Free State, and in many cases family members and friends fought against each other on opposite sides, leading to incredibly bloody and tragic events. This is essentially played out in a much smaller and personal scale on the island between Padraig and Colm. McDonagh is very careful in not villainising either character. Both have their reasons, be they valid or not. Simply, they don't have either the intellectual or emotional capacity to explain them to each other, and that's where the conflict suddenly erupts from. It's a fantastic movie, and again, I think you should check it out, but be warned, it is a downer. Again, the cast is outstanding, with Farrell and Gleeson given phenomenal performances, as well as Kerry Condon and Barry Keoghan in supporting roles. If you have Disney Plus, check this out, but again, be warned, this movie's a bit of a downer, but regardless, it's a fantastic flick and well worth a watch.